Hello there. My name is Dana, and this is my video on sharing some of my experiences after my session with Jon B. I call him Jon B. Um, I don't think it's possible to remember every single little thing that all has added up to a lot. All these things that have happened since our session, but I want to try to highlight some of the biggest ones for me. I feel like the biggest shifts, the biggest things that I've noticed that have came from our session. Um, and here are some of my main um, gifts that have grown from that space that we shared. First of all, I kind of want to talk about a few things that I noticed that I really cared about during our session. One is that anytime I would speak of something challenging, like migraines and stuff like that, Jon would stop and say he was holding space for those moments and those things that I'm struggling with. He would always say, "I'd like to hold space for that," which I felt very caring. Um, and it helped me feel really safe and comfortable opening up with him in that way, as it's a very vulnerable thing to sit and have a session like that. Um, and so, yeah, I wanted to mention that. I have written some things down, so I will be looking down because there's no way I could possibly remember. There's so much that I took from it. I loved our session. I loved the time that we spent in almost 2 hours together. Um, yeah, so I want to talk about one of the biggest things living in Canada. We have really horrific winters. And we've actually been quite lucky to just now, in the middle of January, have winter type weather. We were blessed with a very mild beginning of the winter. However, now that it's freezing and a lot of snow, I have had a completely different perspective on this weather, as a lot of what came up, and my main spirit guide Aqua is a water spirit. I've been just noticing all of this snow coming down as water. And, as I'm out shoveling, yeah, it doesn't feel great. I don't like to be cold. However, I'm stopping and having moments of appreciation for water. And that's a gift for me because usually, I hate winter. I greet it with such little compassion, and I think that that brings more suffering. So I'm really grateful for that. Something really cool that happened right after the session. I have the Beyond Lemuria deck, and I knew I needed to go through it as I felt like a lot of what he talked about was in that deck. And I did find 4 cards that really spoke of the things that came through for me. And it was so confirming of my connection to Lemuria, especially my Lemurian water spirit guide, Aqua, coming through. That was really cool and confirming. I also really liked how throughout the session, he would often come back to the question, "How can this help Dana?" Because we could get carried away with all kinds of things coming through, but I really loved that he kept saying, "How can this be of assistance to Dana?" Because really that's what these sessions are, quantum healing, right? It's for us. That's why we're coming to him for it, to find healing for us. So I really appreciated that I wanted to mention. I have so many things written down. And I'm it's hard to put it all into words. I loved our session. I loved what came out of it. I am starting to feel different energy in my hands, and I feel like I'm working with my energy in a beautiful way. And here's the biggest thing. I'm glad I remembered this. Here's the biggest thing I think for me that I'm taking from our session. My self-worth in this world has just grown so much in understanding some of my past lives, how deeply connected I am to Mother Gaia, and the gifts that I have that I haven't even begun to tap into yet, that I am so excited to. I feel so much more worthy in this world, knowing a lot of the things that came up and how incredibly important I am in this world. And that hasn't been a feeling that I've felt all my life. As a person that has struggled with mental health challenges, addiction issues, codependency, so many toxic relationships, an upbringing that, nobody really understood me. Jon saw me, he sees me, he heard me, he understood me, and he was excited about some of my gifts, which lent excitement to me. So I want to keep this video kind of short, like not too long. But there are so many other things that have happened that I am forgetting in this moment. And I know as soon as I stop, I'm going to regret it. But I highly suggest his quantum healing. He is a very gifted human being and a star family brother for sure. Um, so many beautiful things came through. I feel like I'm coming to my lives on TikTok in a different way and stepping into leadership differently. Things are really shifting, and I just wanted to share my utmost gratitude for Jon for allowing that space to channel my guides. And I know that that's a big deal. And he's very gifted and he's very kind and loving. And yeah, that is what I have for you. So if this sounds interesting, feel free to go onto his YouTube and find our whole session. You can watch it. It was absolutely beautiful. And I think that other people get to know me in a different way as well. So Jon, thank you eternally. I am grateful for you. And have a nice day. Whoever's watching this, may your day be filled with sunshine. Namaste.